Good evening and welcome to One Take. I'm Monica May. Yay! We were having just momentary tech difficulties, but me and Amp, we're gonna work this thing out. How you doing, Mrs. Williams?
My nerves are already bad, so I'm just hanging.
No, no. We're actually already live and we're doing fine. We're doing
Okay,
fine. We're
okay,
doing fine.
okay.
BELAC Foundation, believe every life acquires cure. We're talking about childhood cancer. And one of the things in this moment of COVID and in this moment of all the things that are going on, you can hear a dog bark in the background or just noises, and all of that is okay. But one of the things that I've learned since knowing you and the Caleb Solomon Williams BELAC Foundation is that cancer is the leading cause of death by disease in children under the age of 15. And you have a very personal story. Are you sitting in Caleb's room right now, his old
Yes,
room?
I am sitting in his room. It's probably the peaceable, it's most place in the house right now. So I'm
Yeah,
trying to get up so you can see me.
and that's fine. I see you just fine. I see you just fine. You notice I wore my green in support.
Yay!
So how are you doing? And that's how I always start whenever I see you. That beautiful smile is always there. But I always ask, sis, how are you doing
I'm today I don't know.
today?
Yeah, today I don't know because I was like all of a sudden when 4:45 got here, my nerves just started just like, oh my goodness, I got to do this. And then I think it made it worse when I read your little write up that you just did, and
Oh,
they showed it, and so I was like, okay, like this is real. So sometimes I think it takes me right back to the fight. It takes me
yeah.
right back to just having to know that I have to remember all that we went through for the foundation. It's always doing for other people, but when I have to do this, then it's like I gotta kind of remember, that journey all over again. And it's been 7 years.
And,
7 years.
and I've known you, I'm sure, about 6 of those years.
Exactly. Yes.
So let's just talk about Caleb, if we can, and let's talk about his journey with childhood cancer. And one of the reasons you put this foundation together, of course, to honor him, but also to put parents at ease. The same thing that you needed while you were in the hospital dealing with Caleb all the time. You're doing now that for others, and that is so commendable. You have an army of people working with you, and I'm I'm always speechless. I'm very proud of you. You know, we try to participate every year in your walk, your run. This year you'll do it virtual, so we got to figure out that part. But let's talk about little Caleb, the light of your life.
In my heartbeat still. And so our journey began on in March of 2011, where he was 5 years old and he was chronic bronchitis patient from birth, and he had a bronchitis attack that led him to the hospital. One night he had an attack and it just didn't come out. He was not feeling his normal get back up and do the things that you normally do after a couple of days. So with that, I noticed taking him a bath, and yes, at 5, I still took him a bath. When we were taking him a bath and washing him off, he had developed a lump over his left chest wall. And I'm like, does it hurt? And I'm touching it, and he's like, no. And I'm like, are you okay? And he's like, yeah, mommy, I'm fine. I was like, no, we need to go to the hospital now. And so, with that hospital journey, we were at the hospital overnight. We stayed there for 24 hours. They rushed us from Health Central to Honor Palmer, and there we spent our first 29 days, only to find out that he was diagnosed with T-cell lymphoblastic lymphoma.
Wow. And is that a rare form of cancer? Is that
It's
a typical form that children get?
For males his age, it's rare, but of course, with me, they say all cancers are rare. So, but for his age, it's a rare cancer in males.
Wow. No kind of pre-detection of it at all.
no kind of pre-detection from it. His lungs were always clear when they checked him at the doctor's appointments and stuff. Even when they found the tumor, his lungs were 98% blocked, and he was still breathing on his own clearly, and we couldn't understand how was that happening, but we know how it happened. But
Oh, sure.
but we, scientists would say, how is he even running around, moving around when his one of his lungs had completely collapsed?
Wow. And he never complained is the one thing that you always said to me. Caleb would look out for other kids.
He would never complain. He's always looking out for the best interest of everybody else. And even when we kept saying, if you don't get better in 2 days, you can't go to school, then we're gonna take you to the doctor. He's like, I'm okay, Mom. He pulled his little, at that age, he was 5, so he still had a little toddler bed. And then he pulled that out in the living room to watch TV. And I'm like,
Oh,
no, you're getting too comfortable now. You gotta. So, always considerate. He's always was considerate. I talked to his teachers today. He was just humble. He was like heaven. Just I tell people he was our miracle child. He was just a heaven sent little boy. He was so well mannered. He just even through the journey, he just never ever complained.
now with Caleb being in that situation, I'm sure that there are a lot of emotions that you went through. You're angry, you know, you're a devout Christian, you're a member of St. Mark, you had everybody praying for you. And then the outcome was that Caleb did not make it. And still to this day, I have seen you down, but I've never seen you without a smile. And I don't see you all the time, but I do know one thing, that you were Caleb was sent here so that you would have a mission, is what I wanted to share with you this evening. And let's talk about the BELAC Foundation, Caleb, that you set up in his honor. Let's talk about that and all that you have to. You went through a lot, so now you try to relieve that in some parents' lives.
Correct. And so with him passing, a lot of people don't know. The Thursday before he passed away on Father's Day, my sister and I,
Mm,
of course, as you said, we are, our background is church. Everything about us speaks church. But even through that journey, people I think were waiting for me to fold or give up or, just you'd be angry all the time. And not that I didn't get to that point. So we were praying one Thursday, the Thursday before he passed. And my sister says to me, um, I see foundation in this. I see it. And I said to her, my baby passes away. I'm not doing no foundation. I don't want to deal with nobody.
yeah.
If we don't go home together, I'm done. Like, I don't want to be bothered with anyone. And like every year that goes by, I like eat those words. And after like that Sunday after he passed, we took like I shut down. I didn't talk to anybody except for my children, immediate family,
Mhm.
children. Like that was it. And then we came together and I said, I never want anyone in this world to have to go through what we went through alone. Not like they won't go through it, but I don't want them to go through it alone. So it was horrible. I'm claustrophobic. So living in a hospital for 3 years was the ultimate test of my faith. Like I
Yeah.
couldn't believe it was like I was in jail. So we didn't want people to go through what we had went through, but in being a foundation, we wanted to touch areas where other people weren't. Like we don't want to do everything that someone else is doing. So how
Mhm.
could we be different with what we're doing when we're partnering with other people and these families?
So, what makes BELAC Foundation different?
So what makes us different, one is because we're African American Foundation. So
Mhm.
we're the only ones here in Florida. We service the entire Florida area. And then we provide financial assistance. Most organizations partner with other people. So like they would partner with you and you would provide the service to them where we fundraise 365 to
Mhm.
help the families with utilities, gas, food, if they need someone to talk to and be a support as they're going back and forth care packages. We work to do all of that, which most of the time we would have to contact our social worker to try to find an organization that most of the time was out of state. It was never locally to get whatever we needed funded.
Now, you think in terms of other organizations. You might think of, say, a Ronald McDonald House. You may think in terms of that they're providing housing.
Yes,
You
they
all are
provide
providing
and meals.
incidental things that they need, the
Exactly. And
families
nobody
need.
thinks about it. Nobody thinks about, even like now with COVID-19, nobody thinks about when you're diagnosed with cancer. It's like a prison sentence because everything starts to be taken away from you. I lost my job. I couldn't go back to my job. I couldn't work anywhere because we were in the hospital first 29 days and then every day and then every other day. So nobody's gonna say, hey, you can come to work whenever you want to. So now you have families losing their income. Some of them are going from part time, full time to part time. Some of them are single parents in the home. So it's just so many different scenarios that nobody thinks about. And the medications alone that they take, some of those pills out of pocket are like $90 for one prescription with and sometimes that's with insurance.
We don't think of these things because we don't know enough about it. We always hear about adult cancer, breast cancer, prostate cancer. I'm always learning something from you whenever I get a chance to speak with you because childhood cancer is really not discussed.
Yes, it's
It's
not.
almost like we're afraid to talk about it. So I know that Caleb is very proud of his mom. I do know that. I know that he is ecstatic that his sisters and brothers, everybody has a part of keeping his memory alive. What is the next way that we can support the BELAC Foundation?
So as always,
Mhm.
we fundraise 365. We are literally, I think, 9 days away, like you said, from our annual Childhood Cancer 5K. We have sponsors and we have annual supporters who support us all the time, and that was their one thing. So if we're not going to do the 5K, then what are we going to do with our donations? So to make them not feel like they're just, not a part of the 5K, my daughter says, let's just do something virtual. And she said
Okay.
people can go to the park where they live in their neighborhood. Well, they'll set up Zoom. I have no idea how to do any of that. You make a
You're
donation.
doing it. You're
So
doing
she's
fine.
like, they can set up anywhere they want. She's going to be at the location in Atlanta. That's going to be our first time in Atlanta doing it virtually. We're going to still be at the park, but it's just going to be like the team and some extra people because of all that's going on. We don't want to make people come out to the park. The park is still not open for events, but they are allowing us to still come out. And so we will do the walk on Saturday, next week, Saturday. If people want to join us, they can. We tell them please wear their mask. I mean, this is serious. People are not taking it as serious as it should be, but make sure you're protecting yourself if you do come out. But you can do it in your neighborhood. You can do it at a park, wherever you want to chime in to us. We will have the Zoom information on the announcement. It tells you how you can register if you follow us on Facebook or Instagram. But we're just excited to be able to be a blessing back to families. I'm telling you, it hurts my heart when I get phone calls. I got an email just today with a family, a newly diagnosed boy. So it never stops. People think it goes away, but it doesn't. It's
Mhm.
365.
Yeah. And for a parent, it is a forever.
Yes,
So you're gonna be doing this for
forever. Yes. If I sleep
forever.
when I'm
You,
gone on, I'm still gonna be doing this.
you
Right.
know it? So I always start with how are you doing? I'm going to end with I love you. There's
I
nothing
love
you
you.
can do about that.
You know I love
I'm
you more.
so proud of all that you've done over the years with the foundation. You have grown it. Um, when I was at Turkey Lake with you, I think it was just last year, and the amount of people who were there to vend, the amount of people who were there to walk, the amount of people who were there to just spread love. the amount of moms who came out with their families because of their loss as well. So you are reaching the people that Caleb knows needs the help, you know? So just know that and be encouraged. Be encouraged. And I know that it is always a sad remembrance, but just know that from a spirit sense, you are doing exactly what your son knows that you're capable of doing and exactly what he would want you to do. The walk, of course, is virtual. It is next Saturday, the 18th. You can log on to BELAC Foundation. And BELAC, of course, is spelled in reverse. So it's BELAC, BELACfoundation.org. Make your donation, learn more about childhood cancer, and meet our good friend, Amprell Williams. Thank you so much, Amp, for being with us on One Take this evening.
For having us.